Yeah, so I've gone through enough crypto content at this point to know exactly where most of it lands. Either you're reading through 12 paragraphs of technical documentation that assumes you have a computer science degree, or somebody's just quietly getting paid to point you towards something. Either one is particularly useful. So the thing that kept coming up on my radar though is this concept of getting back the fees that leave your wallet every single time a transaction hits the network. I've spent a good few years going hands-on with DeFi protocols, and that experience gave me a pretty clear lens for separating infrastructure that's actually built properly from stuff that's just packaged to look that way. So today I'm walking through a project I've had running for a while now, and I'll also get into some of the signals I look at when deciding whether something is worth my time at all.
Okay, so here's the site is right here, and I always want to look at the technical side before anything else, because the way something actually functions is a way better indicator of intent than whatever's written on the homepage. All right, so step one, I connect my wallet. I've been transacting through the most. That's where all the fee history I care about is sitting. The platform gives a few different connection options, which is already a decent signal, and I'll go with what's most natural for me. And okay, that went through clean. Address is showing up right where it should on the dashboard. Next thing is picking which chains to scan. So I'm just going through and selecting the networks I've been active on. Got those checked, then I press scan, and the system starts pulling the gas data from across those networks.
Okay, scan's done, and now it's laying out the full picture. Here's the total gas that went out across my transaction history, and here's what's eligible to come back. Here I click View Results. Okay, there it is. Now I pick the chain to claim from, or I can choose them all, and then I set the destination network for tokens, and press Confirm. And at this point, the protocol needs a few minutes to finalize everything on the chain side. So while that's going through, let me break down the actual mechanics here. And I'll keep the language simple because this space has enough unnecessary complexity as it is. So the way this works, the protocol has agreements in place with partner platforms that run entirely on-chain. No central party sitting in the middle handling the routing. A portion of every trade that moves through platforms feeds directly into rebate pool. And on top of that, the pool pulls in a share of what validators typically extract by deciding which transactions go first inside a block. That's value that normally just gets absorbed by the network layer and never touches the end user. And then sitting alongside all of that is a treasury allocation that exists purely to cover the historical gas recovery side of things, which is exactly what we just initiated. So those three sources together, that's the actual funding behind the rebates. So yeah, that's the whole thing laid out. And honestly, I'm not gonna frame this as something it isn't. The mechanism is pretty contained. It does one thing, and it does it in a way that holds up logically. Nothing in the architecture raised any flags during the time I've had it running, and the technical side is put together with enough care that it doesn't feel like an afterthought. Where to go from here, that's your call. All right, that's a wrap on this one. Thanks for your time.